first and foremost, though, we have this letter from leader of the opposition, Pierre Poilievre, who basically tells Carney, get your butt in gear and negotiate a win for Canada with the United States. Get U.S. tariffs off and prioritize Canadian goods like you promised during your campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, don't let us down. And so it's time for you to deliver your promised wins. As I mentioned, get U.S. tariffs off Canadian softwood lumber, get U.S. tariffs off Canadian steel, aluminum, copper, and auto sector, get rid of Buy American rules that discriminate against Canadian builders, and get rid of the tariffs. Just deal with it. Because Carney was all elbows up Canada, and they did their little funky chicken dance when they won.
We're gonna show those Americans how big and tough we are. Me and my friend Doug here. Guess what Trump did just yesterday? Trump announced tariffs on medium and large sized trucks rolling over the border from Canada into the United States with a 25% tariff on every truck. So we could see that Donald Trump gives zero craps about what Mark Carney wants. He doesn't care what Mark Carney is asking for. And the truth of the matter is Mark Carney is incapable of negotiating a trade deal with Donald Trump, because if he was capable of doing it, it would already be done. But so long as we have a bunch of,
toddlers,
lily-livered toddlers in Ontario saying, we're going to fight the Americans, big bad orange man bad, we're never going to get a deal with them. And they're our biggest trading partner, and they're our closest friends and neighbors. And so it'll be really interesting to see. I can't wait to see what Donald Trump does, because nobody loves Donald Trump's off-the-cuff press conferences more than me. Do we have any tape of Donald Trump?
Yeah, we have one. I hear that they're sharing a laugh when the president makes mention of the merger between Canada and the United States. If we can play that one, I think it's about a 35 second clip.
Okay.
And you can just read the body language too. So that's what I like to watch. Here it is.
You kindly hosted me and some of my colleagues a few months ago, and I said at the time, you are a transformative president. And since then, transformation in the economy, unprecedented commitments of NATO partners to defense spending, peace from India, Pakistan through to Azerbaijan, Armenia, disabling Iran as a force of terror, and now, and I'm running out of time, but this is in many respects the most important.
The merger of Canada and the United States.
That wasn't where I was going.
Oh, Carney. He's like recycling his old talking points that got him absolutely nowhere.
In front of Donald Trump, he is effusively complimentary. You're a transformative president. You helped all of these countries figure out their conflicts. And now and then Trump just barges in, and I will help Canada with their conflicts by welcoming them as the 51st state. I love it so much.
And we will merge.
I love that he hasn't let go of it. I love that he hasn't let go of this 51st state talk, because listen, as Alberta and Saskatchewan think more about their own sovereignty, we will be open to offers, especially from the United States. And Donald Trump knows this. He's a negotiator. He makes deals. And I can't wait to see what he offers the people of Western Canada.
And the next clip that we have is Trump reacting to Canadians apparently choosing not to visit the United States over the trade war and his annexation jokes.
Refusing to go to the U.S. The numbers are down like 23% in the first 7 months of the year. What do you say to Canadians that don't want to go to the U.S. now because of your 51st state talk, because of the trade war, the tariffs?
Yeah. Well, I understand it. Look, I understand that. And Americans don't want to buy cars that are made in Canada. We have the same conflict. So there isn't, it's something that will get worked out. There's still great love between the two countries, but American people want product here. They want to make it here. Detroit was emptied out and moved to Canada, moved to Mexico, moved to other places, not just Canada. And now they're all moving back, they're moving back. We have, right now, I was just telling Mark, we have 17 trillion, but it's really much higher. That was as of a couple of months ago. Yeah. We have over $17 trillion being invested now in the United States. As an example, Biden, he was the worst president we've ever had, but they had less than 1 trillion in 4 years. We have more than 17 trillion in 8 months. 8 months. And I think that number is going to be $22 trillion. There's never been anything like that in the history of the world for any country, not even close. If you did 1 trillion in a year, that's pretty good. We're going to do over 20. And it's coming in with AI. It's coming in with auto plants. We're building auto plants, a lot of auto plants in the U.S. It's coming in for a lot of reasons. It's coming in because of the fact, I think the November 5th election was a big factor, and I think the tariffs are a big factor. And again, we want Canada to do great, but there's a point at which we also want the same business. We're competing for the same business. That's the problem. That's why I keep mentioning one way to solve that problem is a very easy way, but we're competing for the same business. He wants to make cars, we want to make cars, and we're in competition. And the advantage we have is we have this massive market. So it's quite an advantage.
Carney is
okay. Well,
so
first of all, you can feel his cringe just being forced to sit there and listen to Donald Trump eat his lunch. Like, how embarrassing for Mark Carney. But the truth of the matter is, the United States has seen a 23% drop in tourism from Canada, not because of the talk of the 51st state, not because of what Donald Trump's doing with tariffs, but because our dollar, our Canadian dollar, is worth nothing because of Mark Carney and his Liberal Party of Canada and the federal government's decisions. Canadians aren't traveling to the United States because we cannot afford the exchange rate going over the border. When it costs us 25 to 30% more on the dollar to go to the United States, well, that makes it really, really hard for Canadians to justify it when we could stay home, stay in our houses, okay, and not do any fun things because our economy is so poor right now. But do I feel at all a scintilla? Do I feel a scintilla of sadness for Mark Carney having to sit there and take it? No, nobody deserves to take that punishing press conference more than Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada. Go Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. When he's talking trillions, Carney, you can see, and he keeps flinching his shoulder, like, how do I get a word in edgewise here? Because he has nothing tangible or productive to say. It's not, he can't be boisterous. He can't brag about any good work that he's doing for the Canadian people. He has literally nothing. And you can see that in the clip because he's silent. And I think this is maybe the last one that we have so far, because they were doing, I think, a 30-minute presser and then going into some closed door chat. So I think this is the last one that we have, where Trump is speaking on the mutual love Canada and the US has for each other. But they have to compete. Actually, I think this was maybe the end of the other clip. Let me just see if it is. I think it might have been. Yeah. So just those two clips so far, but maybe there will be more to come. We have a super chat as well, $13.99 from Mama Mia. Carney looks like he's in class taking notes. Yeah. You know what? He looks like he's in class, but he looks like he's also asleep at the wheel. He doesn't look like he's taking notes to me. He's just like, oh no, what have I gotten myself into here? I am way over my head.
He looks supremely uncomfortable because perhaps more than anybody in the world, Donald Trump doesn't care about Mark Carney. And Mark Carney is a man accustomed to walking into rooms and being listened to, okay? When Mark Carney speaks to his little peons and cretins that surround him in the PM's office or even before that at Brookfield, this is a man that's accustomed to being listened to. And so being forced to sit in a chair, like Mark Carney's being put in the corner of the room to watch Trump just riff it, he is supremely uncomfortable. And you know what? He should be. He absolutely should be.
And let's see if he looks as uncomfortable when they're talking about the fentanyl crisis. So we do have a couple more clips.
Where's our fentanyl czar, by
commenting.
The way?
Yeah. Oh,
where is he?
Brassino. Yeah, he's having conversations. All right, let's play this 25-second clip.
Is the fentanyl crisis over with Canada, with the Canadian border?
Is what?
The fentanyl crisis.
No, it's not over. I think it's never going to be over, frankly. But Canada's worked hard, and they've done a much better job than in the past. We have very few people coming in through our southern border, too. We've worked with Canada, and we've worked with Mexico. So we've made it a lot better.
Yeah, they're making strides. I mean, something is better than nothing, which is what we had before. But it only took this tariff war to get that in action, right? The government sat on their hands for years while Canadians like us at Rebel News were saying, hey, look at the crime, the disorder, and the chaos that is being unleashed on our streets. And the government was like, oh, well, we better just give you guys some more safe supply and we'll make it government regulated, because then that will somehow make addicts less addicted to toxic, illicit, highly addictive opioids, until Trump hit with the tariffs. And he was like, clean up the fentanyl mess, clean up the borders. What's happening in this porous border that we have, the longest border, I would say, in the world, one of the longest.
And Donald Trump announcing tariffs on medium and large size trucks going over the border from Canada to the United States is going to bolster that on our end, because you know that if the products are being tariffed and scrutinized and inspected at the border, what they're doing is they're tightening that ship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're putting safeguards in place by using the tariff to stop the fentanyl coming over the border in trucks. I mean, do criminal networks have access to boats and airplanes and helicopters and drones? Of course they do. But this is one step towards stopping it in Canada. If only our law enforcement and judicial system would back it up. That'd be real nice. Like if we could throw the people that are producing and distributing fentanyl in Canada, if only we could just get rid of those people, in a jail. But this is the government of Canada. They have no interest in safeguarding the public.
Unless it's against phantom honking, and then you'll be thrown through the ringer in a 3-year long mischief trial and given 15 months house arrest at the end of it. Okay, so we have a couple more clips I'll just want to run through quickly. This one where Donald Trump says Canadians are going to start loving them, and he's sitting beside Jolie, Anand. Actually, before we get to this clip, I wanted to show the post that Anita Anand put up on X yesterday. She's the Minister of Foreign Affairs now. She has, and then I'm drawing a blank on the, is it Sean Fraser? No, it's, anyway, let's show this photo of Anita Anand with Jolie, and Lise, help me out here. Why can't I think of the name? Anyway, they're jet setting, and the thing that caught my eye the most from this photo, they're on their way to Washington, as Anita Anand is so proud of in her post. This working visit will focus on shared priorities in a new economic and security relationship between Canada and the US. And all I'm looking at in this photo is, oh my gosh, look at the leg room. Right? This isn't how the little guys have to fly. This isn't how the plebs fly. And I wonder what their social credit, their carbon credit score is at with this flight.
Here we are in our first class chartered aircraft, going to do the arduous work of government in in Washington. And please feel bad for us because we are working so hard. Screw you, Anita. People are taking their 2-week vacations in their mother-in-law's basements because of actions of your government, and we're supposed to clap politely for your private aircraft and your first-class accommodations. Get bent. Get all the way bent.
And so here in this clip, you can see the three of them, right? That's exactly.
Completely tone deaf. You know, why don't you trot out the caviar while you're at it, Anita? Why don't you just show everybody the beluga caviar and the $800 bottles of wine you're having while in Washington? How gross.
Yeah, and here they all are together. And there's a model plane in front of them of the one they just chartered in from.
Yeah.
President, what is Canada giving you in return? If you say Mr. Carney is going to be leaving Washington happy, what's Canada giving you in return?
Well, you'll find out, but I think the people of Canada, they will love us again. Most of them still do. If you say only 25%, I assume a lot of them, I think they love us.
Yeah, and that's Minister LeBlanc. I was drawing a blank on LeBlanc. Okay, and we have I believe there's one more clip. I'm just trying to find everything here. Yes, where Trump praises Carney, claims he should be his prime minister. Let's have a look.
Is there anything that the prime minister has done that's making it more difficult or easier to reach a deal?
No, I think he's a great prime minister. I mean, he could represent me anytime. I will tell you, I'm not saying that because he is a very strong, very good leader. He's a nice man, but he can be nasty. He can be very nasty, maybe as nasty as anybody.
How?
I think Canada, let me put it this way, I can tell you this because I deal with lots of leaders all over the world. He is a world-class leader. He's a man that knows what he wants. And I'm not surprised to see that he won the election and won it substantially. And I would think he's more popular now. He's a good man. He does a great job, and he's a tough negotiator.
So then what's holding things up? If he's a great man and you want to do a deal with Canada, why aren't you?
Because I want to be a great man, too. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
I think you got that one.
That could have been good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't know how I feel
You
about
know,
that
I
clip.
wonder. Well, he's a great man, but he's nasty. Okay, I'm going to call him Nasty Carney from now on.